everybody from Centennial High School. It's time for high school girls volleyball on North Metro TV. Tonight, the Andover Huskies against the Centennial Cougars. 8-11 for Andover, 4-2 in Northwest Suburban play, and 6-8 for the Cougars, 2-4 in conference. Good evening once again. J.W. Cox alongside Larry Mickelson. And Larry, this is a matchup that historically is a marquee matchup, but this year, both of these teams struggling just a bit with that big word of consistency and trying to find that here going down the stretch of the season.
Exactly. Both coaches told us that they're looking for that consistent play, both on defense and offense, where last time we saw Centennial was probably their best match of the year, well-rounded, but they haven't been able to lift that up. It's particularly having issues with their passing.
Issues with passing on both sides of the net, and both coaches as well talked about that as a big key in this game. It all starts with a good pass. You've got Coach Huberty there with the Andover Huskies, and it starts in the middle. Jessica Hayco is going to be setting a lot of that up, Larry, and she's a senior. She has a lot of experience, and she can kind of make the offense go.
Exactly. They're going to be looking for her for some senior leadership and give them that stability and put the ball in the right places and get to those passes that maybe not right on line.
Another player for Andover that's going to be very key in this game is going to be Marissa McNallen because of what she can do both passing and also scoring for this team. She's had a very balanced attack this year.
One of those rare combinations. She leads the team both in assists per set and kills per set. Kind of their all-around player, and she's, again, their go-to person for tonight.
Couple of seniors for the Andover Huskies. On the other side for the Centennial Cougars, it starts with a junior, Carly Trout, and she's got the talent to score and score well, and that's what we saw the last time we were here at Centennial.
She's an explosive player. She really attacks the ball aggressively and hits the ball hard. She was a middle last year, moved her to the outside this year, and she's had success over there.
So we've talked about two seniors on one side, another upperclassman for Centennial, and then we go to an 8th grader, and Olivia Jensen. Her coaches are very happy with the way she's come about this season, and she has a very productive year and a very great career, it seems like, for Olivia Jensen, the 8th grader.
She's got a lot of upside, very strong along the net. She averages more blocks per set than the Andover team does as a whole. One thing that Coach Rabine Manthe mentioned is that she's very quick to close the block, leaves very few holes.
And you see the standings, so both of these teams in some uncharacteristic places, I would guess, down towards the bottom for Centennial at 6-8 overall. Andover still fighting there in conference at 4-2, kind of just outside those upper three of Osseo, Anoka, and Blaine. Are those really the shocks there in the conference, Larry, that you see? I mean, Blaine's on top, and that's what a lot of people have gotten used to.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a shock. Both Andover and Centennial lost big players last year. Lee Pudwell for Centennial, Carly Hauer for Andover, both playing Division I ball this year. So probably see the drop-off maybe a little bit more drastic on the Andover side just because they've been used to a lot of success over the years.
Saw Coach Jackie Rabine Manthe for the Centennial Cougars, and there's Coach Huberty again getting her team ready, and we are just about ready for high school girls volleyball between the Cougars and the Huskies. And when it comes down to it, Larry, we talked to both coaches, and they look for consistency and they look for passing. When you think about these two teams, well, what does it come down to if you boil it down real quick in 30 seconds?
For Centennial is going to continue the block. They have outblocked. They're bigger blockers than they are on Andover's side. Andover is going to be looking to McNallen to create that offense and also run that offense when she's along the net setting. It's Dig Pink Night here at Centennial, raising funds for breast cancer awareness, an annual event. And Coach Rabine Manthe's mother passed away 8 years ago to breast cancer. So it's a very personal and a big emotional evening for the Centennial Cougars.
And she's got the presentation there, and so obviously a poignant night and a poignant moment as she goes over there with those flowers.
Giving them to her dad.
And now, of course, for Coach Rabine Manthe, she's no doubt an emotional moment, but she's also a competitor, and she's ready to see this team get back out there on the court.
She'll turn it off and get right to the match at hand here shortly.
And we will have the national anthem here from Centennial as when we come back from this break, we'll be ready to go with high school volleyball on North Metro TV.
Known for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy!
for your full service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy!
if you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy! I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say, I know a guy!
Number 2 is Sadie Byro.
Back with you on North Metro TV, J.W. Cox alongside Larry Mickelson and the entire crew here at Centennial High School as the Andover Huskies get introduced to the home crowd here at Centennial. And just a few moments away in this matchup in the Northwest Suburban Conference. The Huskies coming in at 8-11 overall, 6-8 for Centennial. For the Huskies coming off a pair of wins against Maple Grove and Elk River. On the other side for the Cougars, they're coming off a win against Coon Rapids 2 matches ago and a 3-1 loss against Osseo. And if you go back a little further for the Huskies, you see 2 straight losses. And so, Larry, that plays right into what we were talking about. The inconsistency, some close matches, and some teams that are kind of right on the verge with a few more games, a few more matches, to get under their belts this season, and really a chance to make some noise and get a little bit better and see about a postseason run.
Yeah, Andover really has had a tough schedule here the last week. They went out to the Apple Valley tournament, played some tough competition with Apple Valley, Bethlehem Academy, and then they came back on Monday night and played Wayzata, which is a very top 5 team in the state.
Right.
And then they turned around and faced Stillwater the next night. And then after that, they played Maple Grove. That's a tough stretch. If I'm Coach Huberty, I got to start wondering, maybe I can make it a little easier on my scheduling.
But out of all of that, they beat Apple Valley in their own tournament, a tough team, and then they beat Maple Grove, so they kind of came out of that gauntlet looking pretty good. And that's what the Cougars are hoping to do on the other side. They'll still have 2 tournaments left to play this season that Coach Rayvon Manthey was very excited about.
Yeah, they have their own tournament here next weekend. They generally do very well in that one. It kind of gives you the playing time that you need back-to-back. And then they've got the St. Michael tournament coming up this weekend. So some big volleyball, a lot of volleyball for both teams coming up. Andover's got a real tough match, not only for conference play, but it's going to help set the sights for what they're going to do in Section 7 AAA when they take on Anoka next week. Not only, crosstown rival, they border each other, but they're going to have to if they're going to make their next state tournament again this year, they're going to have to probably get through Anoka, so it's going to be a good test for them as well.
And there's a lot on the line when you look at that state tournament. You were telling me before, we'll talk about this again, 04, 05, 07 to 11. Andover's been in the state tournament. You see their starters there, Munson, Noel, Barnett, Graham, Hayco, McNallen, and Peterson for the Huskies. As they have all been introduced, they'll take their lap around the court, and we'll be ready for volleyball between the Cougars and the Huskies here on North Metro TV. And you get the starters for the Cougars as well: Jensen, Trout, Conrad, Fummery, McCauley, Anderson, and Siraki. And so those will be the players, those will be the names that we'll hear with a few more sprinkled in. And even though, Larry, that these teams aren't where historically they have been at the heights they have been, we still could see a pretty good match here between these 2 teams today.
Well, I think they will. I mean, if they're just looking again for that consistency in passing, but I think they're going to be evenly matched teams. So look for a good match tonight. It'll be a lot of fun to watch.
So, of course, it's Andover in the 2-tone brown and black uniforms. I guess that's tan and black.
Gold and black.
Gold.
Kind of hard to tell from back here, but yeah, they've you mentioned their run. Was it 04, 05, 07, 08, 09, 10, and 11? Rumor has it that Andover the students just plan on taking a couple of days off around the state tournament time so they can go watch your team play.
Exactly. So hopefully they're hoping that they can continue that trend, and Centennial hope to put at least a small dent in that early on, as the Huskies have a long way to go to try and make that another run into the tournament. So we're ready to go. And we will get Desiree Siraki.
Looks like Andover, looks like they're going to be the first serving team here. Jessica Hayco.
Hayco, the senior. You saw her in the pregame. She's a big part of this team, and she will start it up serving from that far side. So just ready to get these first set underway. And we are underway with the first serve. Setting to the far side for Trout. A block coming back, and Andover recovers. And they shot down on this near side. Noel, the senior outside hitter, just kind of found the spot on the floor there.
Not a real tough hard attack, but just kind of got the defense on their back heels, and point went down.
1-0 Andover. Hayco still serving. Set again for Trout. Has it blocked. Trout gets a second try. Not a strong shot, so it's picked up. And they're too long this time for Noel. And it's 1-0.
We saw it there on Andover's side. We mentioned they haven't done they called a touch on Centennial. Yes, they did.
So it is 2-0. Hayco still serving. Long set to that far side, and it's blocked down up front. Some pressure from Graham and McNallen on that far side.
Saw early, Trout didn't get blocked for a point, but her balls were being sent back. That starts getting to the hitter's head.
Now there is one block down, and there's some miscommunication for Centennial, so they get out to the 4-0 deficit.
That's what you hear, Jack or Coach Rabine-Manthey. That's got to concern you. That's just a total mental breakdown right there. Should never happen.
Hayco on a roll with the first 4 points for the Huskies. Trout trying to break it up. She'll just have to set it up and over. To the front. Cougars will send it back. Trout, a good shot there, but it's dug out well. Back to the front and sent over by Noel. To the middle, blocked back. The shot of Joe Conrad came right back in her face, as that was
13,
Graham,
I believe.
up front.
Yeah, Graham, yep. No, I mentioned earlier that they didn't have, Andover wasn't that strong of a blocking team, but they played very strong along the net early on.
Already with 2 blocks, and they're up 5-0. The set got a little too close to the net, so they just have to recover and do. Far side for Trout, looking for that first point. And she is going to get it off that block eventually. A couple of touches for Andover, but Centennial on the board. It's 5-1.
Take a look at the replay here. Good swing. Don't get a block for a point, but they did tip the ball up in the air and gave their digger a chance to handle. Just couldn't. Now Saraki to serve for Centennial.
A good serve dug out and then popped just over the net, and a good serve turned into a good bounce for Andover, and they take a 6-1 advantage.
Just not expecting that ball to come back as quick as you did. You touch on it. Good serve by Saraki. The only thing that Andover could do is put it back across, and Centennial wasn't ready for it.
Peterson in to serve. Set to the middle, a good swing, and the shot down for Olivia Jensen.
Good attack there, good strong swing by Olivia, all set up by the pass though. Gave McCauley a nice ball that was set. Good swing, down.
So we see Jensen into the act for the first time. It's 6-2 Andover. A block back up front, Jensen and Trout. Swing and a shot through for Alexandra Munson. The 5'11 senior puts it down, and it is 7-2.
Centennial's got to figure things out here pretty quickly, both offensively and defensively.
Graham back to serve. Set came back a little deep. Trout got it up and over and forces Andover to deal with it, and they do. Set to the near side and just down along the back. A great shot from Lindsay McCauley.
And Lindsay McCauley, when she's front row, plays center, and she can really attack the ball up there. Take a look at it right there, right down the line, or back court. Trout into the back row now to serve.
7-3, serve too long, and it's 8-3. This is an interesting situation that Coach Huberty was talking about. And her team has, on occasion there this year, gotten up by these big leads, but then they would allow the other team back in. It'll be a key point here early if they can keep that lead and maybe stretch it. McNallen serving. Cougars again won't get a shot, and it goes too deep on the bump over, so it's 9-3.
And again, that's almost something that Coach Rabine-Manthey mentioned, is that they've had a hard time closing deals out. So we'll see who can rise to the occasion tonight.
Centennial again, just unable to get a shot away.
That was believe Barnett on that one.
Taking a second look right up there up front. And it was Barnett, and then off the hand of Trout.
Just Centennial just seems they're not real into the game right now. They're going to have to kind of bring up their energy level, move their feet. Again, we were here, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when they played Champlain Park, and everything was moving. They were moving their feet. It was a beauty to watch. And it's just the opposite right now.
That was exactly what I was going to say. It doesn't look like exactly the same team, or at the very least the same approach here in this game with the confidence that they took in that Champlain Park match. And now they're down 10-3. They take the timeout, and Coach Rayvon Manthe with some words for her 6-8 Cougars. And it's really, there have been some good play by Andover, but a lot of things that Centennial can just shore up fundamentally that would make this a closer match right now.
Exactly. But Andover's playing really well. They're getting hands on balls across the net. They're digging very well, but they haven't really put a lot of pressure on Centennial, and Centennial just hasn't been able to rise to the occasion up to now.
If Andover can find some of that pressure, they can make it a quick set real quick. And Marissa McNallen out of the timeout to serve. Far side they go, looking for Liz Olson. Instead, Andover comes back, and he gets the shot down with Munson.
They're going to call a double on that one. Kind of got inside. Take a look at the set by McNallen. Good swing by Munson. Right there, they called the lift on Jensen.
11-3. Set to the middle with Farmery, sent over. Up front, popped over, and that's Barnett again. And it's 12-3. And a big 9-point advantage. Largest lead just keeps expanding here in this first set for Andover.
You look at that play and you go, boy, that was a lucky play by Andover, but it's made by being aggressive and being alert.
Make your own luck sometimes. I think Andover's done it twice. A great dig. Down diving full forward for Marissa McNallen to keep this alive. It'll be a shot now for Centennial. And another save. Huskies have it blocked back. One shot to pop it over, and they do. Great exchange here up to the front. Jensen takes a little off. Huskies are able to get it back. Set to the far side now. Hit down and dug out. Neither team giving way at this point. To the back, the Huskies try and go. Set again on the far side for Olson, and this time it finds its way to the deck. 12-4, Centennial back on the scoreboard.
A little better rally there by Centennial. See at the end of the point here by Olson with a good swing and down. A little more energy there. They got to keep that up, keep attacking. But Andover's digging everything right now.
Jensen back to serve. Another dig there, moving into the left. Shot off a block, and Emily Blake. And the Andover Huskies keep pouring it on. It's 13-4.
Take a look at the replay here. One thing you'll see there is the defense for Centennial was still moving when she was swinging. When the hitter starts to swing, you want to be stopped facing the hitter so you can move in any direction.
Set for Olson, and too short on that. Put it into the net in the face of a block, and it's 14-4.
Right now, I think Centennial has just got to start working on trying to get some rhythm, establish a rhythm going here, and get some momentum going, if not for this set, for the second set.
It's Barnett and Madison Hahn up front. Again, Barnett right in the middle there as the Huskies pick up another point, 15-4.
2 hitting errors in a row when they've actually had a decent pass and something to do with it. Nothing going right for Centennial right now.
Emily Blake back to serve. Dig for Siraki, a shot. McNally tried to put it in on this near side. It's dug out. Shot again, block off a tip. And Andover able to get it over. There he said it. Andover's just digging everything at this point. Staying alive in every rally. And we've got an injury on the court for the Huskies, a twisted ankle, as Noelle is down. And she tried to hop around for a while. The Huskies will get the Cougars will get the point. It's 15-5.
Take a look at it here. Swing by Olson, like you said, right over the spot where, was it Munson? Noelle was down.
And so she's ginger on that right ankle, it looks like.
We're going to have number 2, it looks like, coming in for Biro for Andover.
So 15-5. They're up by 10. McCauley's going to go back to serve for Centennial from the middle. A service error.
And those you can ill afford to make right now when you're trying to get any kind of momentum. Right now, Centennial hasn't had 2 points in a row. They have not been able to score in their serve.
Peterson to serve. Good serve to the back, forced Siraki to kind of bail and just pop it up. Set to the far side by the newest Husky in there, Byro.
Nice set by Farmery there. Sent back over by Andover.
Good blocking up front again for the Huskies. McCauley has to try and bump it over from the back and puts it into the net, 17-5.
Second timeout for Centennial. Just can't get anything going right now. They've had some good rallies, but they haven't been able to close it out. And when they do get a point, they can't take advantage on the serve.
And a big factor, I have to think, and you mentioned it before, that the Andover Huskies are just keeping everything alive, and they're making some of these rallies last a long time, and that's got to wear a team down.
Just keep waiting for the other team to make a mistake, and Centennial's obliged them on that by hitting the ball in the net or hitting them long. So, but Andover very impressive right now, keeping the ball up, a lot of energy, using their 3 contacts, not just being content with sending the ball over, but got some good swings.
A whole lot of hustle and a whole lot of movement. I think also you talked about it as well, catching Centennial moving sometimes with some of those shots over. And if you can catch that other team in movement, they're going to have a whole lot tougher chance sending it back to you.
When you're a defensive player, as soon as, like I said, as soon as the ball goes up, the hitter starts to approach. As a defensive player, you want to stop so you can move in any direction, regardless of how out of position you may feel you are. Because when you're moving one way, the ball goes back the other. You cannot adjust quick enough.
It's a whole nother second or so to stop and then get going again, rather than just be from a stop. So out of the timeout, a stop in this first set, 17-5. Andover with the lead, and Peterson serving for the Huskies. Centennial trying to turn it around here. Block back in and then into the net, excuse me.
Another hitting error by Centennial. The other thing that Centennial's going to have to watch is some of these long rallies. They're starting to creep up and leaving the whole back third of the court open.
Long serve, Siraki high with the pass. They set to the far side for Farmery. Into the middle, the shot, and a whistle and point Andover.
Net violation there.
Olivia Graham again as you take a second look. Right in the middle, and she forges the touch. It was Conrad at the scene.
Cami Kaczynski comes in now for Centennial.
Peterson still serving at 19-5. Trying to set for Farmery. He takes a flat-footed shot from the far side. That lets Andover get a chance. Dug out well by Siraki. Far side Olson has it blocked back. Great dig by Farmery, falling down to keep it alive. Set to this near side. Byro can't get it to go down. Miscommunication and a trip there, but Farmery still got it away. And the tap back up and over by Olivia Graham. And it's 20-5. Just a smart play as this volley been going on for a while. Graham got it up and over 2 blockers.
Centennial got caught just scrambling around, never got back to base position.
Peterson serving again, 20-5. Centennial just has to scramble.
Ball hit around the antenna, point to Andover.
21-6. Excuse me, 21-5. As you take a look at what Graham has done today, 3 kills, a couple of blocks. She has been big right up against the net. Strong serve by Peterson and a good dig by Siraki. Trying to keep it alive. And it's 22-5.
Bad rotation here. You have Farmery on the left side, not her natural position when she's front row, and just not getting good sets to attack.
Struggling over there, just a little out of position. Emma LeClaire in for Centennial. Much better passing for Andover. They're getting shots. They're not all falling.
Net violation. Just thought a little aggressive on the block there. Touch the top of the net.
So 22-6, and maybe a slight opening of the door for the Cougars way down in this set, but we've talked about it a couple of times. They're just looking for anything at this point to be positive.
Right now, you're just trying to get some momentum going into the second set.
Steph Anderson enters to serve. 22-6. McCauley can't handle the shot right at her. And it was Graham again. 23-6. Olivia Graham. 78 kills into this one for the senior. She's up over 80 now. To the middle for Trout.
Nice play there by Centennial. Kind of ran a little combination play with the middle and Trout coming down fairly close together. And as a blocker, you got to pick your poison.
Trout made him pay. Siraki now serving at 23-7. Andover trying to close out the first set. Blocked back, but out of bounds, and it'll be 24-7. It's a good play up front. Farmery.
Centennial still looking for their first back-to-back points of the evening. No. Yeah, they did give it to him. I don't know if that ball ever crossed the net. They're saying there was a touch.
Okay. And so it is Andover.
It's Andover's ball.
So 24-7. Centennial trying to stay alive in the first. Trout out on the far side, and that'll do it. 25-7.
Let's take a look at that.
You take a look at point number 24.
Yeah, it looks like it hit the top of the net. Never did get across the net and touch one of the Centennial players, but
point
23-7. It's kind of a moot point.
Right. It was a foregone conclusion that was going to go to Andover at some point. 25-7 the final, and it was all Andover in that first. And so Centennial with some work to do in the second. They had a couple of spots there with that Trout shot specifically for point, I think 6 or 7, that actually looked very good. They had a good rotation and a good play and something to build on for set number 2.
Yeah, they just got to start working. You know, you got to have short-term memory loss right now. Forget that ever happened. You just come out and forget that one. Just go back to playing what your game.
Andover takes the first in convincing fashion on North Metro TV.
Known for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.
With gold at all-time high, take that rope and say bye-bye. Earrings, bracelets, rings, and chains. We buy gold at your exchange. Don't send your gold to someone strange. We buy gold at your exchange. Spring Lake Park, Frilly Blade. We buy gold at your exchange.
Headed back towards a second set between Andover and Centennial. You see all Andover in the first, 25-7. Here on North Metro TV, the whole crew, J.W. Cox alongside Larry Mickelson, and just some fundamental breakdowns for Centennial that just didn't look real pretty, and I think everybody down there in that huddle knows that they can play better, even the level that Andover played in that first set.
Exactly. Andover came out strong. I mean, Centennial had some good swings, but Andover was able to put the ball back, and then just things kind of fell apart. Miscommunication, just fundamental errors.
And if you're Andover and you're in that huddle right now, you cruise to that first set. What do you do to make sure you keep up that intensity and you find that success again 2 straight sets?
You also have to have a short-term memory again, something like that, because it's easy to think, you know what, we're just outplaying them. Where Centennial raises their game up a little bit and Andover slips a little bit, all of a sudden you're in a battle. Centennial's just got to, blow it off. I mean, I was at the Penn State-Minnesota match on Saturday night. Minnesota got beat in the second, 25-8, so it happens to the best of teams.
Right.
Volleyball is all about momentum, and once that momentum starts rolling for you or against you, it's awfully tough to stop. So Andover wants to keep it going. Centennial needs to get it going.
That's the time you like to play about a 50-point set, and you just keep it going and keep it going and hope that counts as 2. But they have to take the break, and now Andover will see what they can do here in set number 2.
It's not total points that wins; it's a number of sets. So But we'll see. But it's interesting. You look at body language out there. Andover is a little, standing straight up. Centennial's a little, shoulders are slumped. You got to get that out of it. This is where you need some senior leadership to step up and say, okay, ladies, let's go.
And it'll be the senior Desiree Siraki to get it underway, serving here in the second. Jensen is out there as well at the front to start things off, see if they can find some scoring, but Andover the first chance. It's pumped over by Munson. Olivia Jensen will get the first shot and its return. Some trickeration tried there by Andover twice, and Carly Trout shoves it right back down. And the first point will go to the Cougars.
Good point. Big point for Centennial right there. Take a look at the replay. Good attack by Trout down the line. Centennial almost got burned there a little bit. Their defense is creeping up, and they almost got burned by a push shot. Fortunately, they can't back it up again. Still looking for their first back-to-back points of the evening.
The service error for Siraki, but to go back to that first one, Trout looked like she was on a mission that time with that swing. She wasn't going to take anything off that and go right down the line.
That's what you need to do, stay aggressive.
Hayco now serving for Andover. Farmery had it blocked back and got a hand on it again to keep it alive. Trout, another swing, another point, and it's 2-1 Centennial.
That's what we need. That's what Centennial needs, is good swings like that. But we talked about earlier too, good swing by Trout, but we saw Andover go up there and almost keep the ball alive.
That was some of the best work they were doing in that first set. Never giving up.
There it is. Service ace for the first back-to-back points for Centennial. And a 3-1 lead.
Gives them the 2-point advantage as well as Farmery on the service ace. Just made it a tough pass forward. This time it's handled better. Andover will get a shot, and it's blocked down. But the point for Andover.
McNallen on the kill there for Andover.
A lot of Graham in that first set to help lead the way. So we'll see if McNallen, maybe Munson get involved as well. You see McNallen, her stat line so far tonight. Trout again with a shot. It's back up into the rafters, and Andover can survive that. Coming back to Trout near side. Shot picked up again. Huskies never giving up a point. McNallen sends it back over. Popped up on McCauley. Popped down, McCauley has to save it. Trout in for the block. And they're sent into the net, so Trout being up there close forced Andover into that net.
Trout's really playing aggressively here, much more aggressive than we saw in the first. A lot of it probably because of the just the better sets, but she's really taking that, moving it around.
4-2. It's Trout now on the serve. Good play by Centennial on the first two hits to keep it alive. Andover with a shot, and Siraki returns the favor to keep it alive, and she'll bump it over. Both teams calling down after the flurry. Shot off the hand of McNallen, and then eventually down as Farmery couldn't get to it.
I think McCauley should have stepped up and taken that one. That was going to be a tough play for Farmery to come from back right. McCauley was right there, not really even getting in a position to attack. So I think that's what Coach Rabine Manthe said. Why don't you just take that one?
So 4-3. Back to his set here at a 1-point advantage for Centennial. Gresham into serve and puts it into the net. So the service error, 5-3 now Centennial. See if they can capitalize on that with Jensen back to serve and Conrad coming in.
A little more energy, a little more life out of Centennial in this set so far.
Back set, block back down. Up top, Jensen, make it Conrad and Olson, excuse me.
Nice solid block there by Centennial. Go up hip to hip, put up a big block, and put it down for the other side.
See their first block for the junior Olson, a pair of kills already on the day. A lot more fire for Centennial. There's Conrad, and she picks up the kill. 6-3, Centennial up by 3. Make it 7-3, up by 4.
Talked about the momentum. You can see Centennial, good swing there by Conrad. Stepping up, they got a little more life. Now Andover's got to match it.
First time the pressure has been on the Huskies to try and make a play. Shot just a bit wide. A good aggressive swing by Olson, and it'll be 7-4.
Yeah, she's just a little bit off in the timing there. You can see that. Didn't get on top of the ball, got a little flat on it, sent it a little bit wide.
McNallen back to serve. Set to the front and off the block and out. Again with Jill Conrad having herself a set here over the last couple of points. 8-4, now Centennial leads.
Talked about a little bit earlier, I think Centennial's got a bit of an advantage in the middle over Andover.
And we're seeing it finally here in the second. And a tip ball out on the far side, so it's point Andover.
Give that kill to Munson, I believe.
8-5, Andover trying to stay within shouting distance.
Blake to serve.
Emily Blake, the sophomore, serving from the far side. Swinging around too deep on the shot for Jill Conrad.
A little long, like you said, but they're moving around. It's a good swing. She's just got to get on top of it a little bit more. But the opening was there.
More execution on that play right there than a lot of times in the first set. So a lot of better signs for Centennial as they're up 2. Shot for Farmery, picked up by Andover. Siraki digging it out again, and this time just a little off balance for Liz Olson, the junior. She puts it into the net. It's a 1-point set.
Now she let that ball get over her, get back of her instead of staying in front of it, so she had to kind of reach back to make that swing.
Swing through and a dig out for Andover. To the far side. That was Byro trying to put it over. Instead, it's popped up and down by Jill Conrad. And it's back to a 2-point set.
Just a little tip there. Took a little longer to get over the net. You can see the Andover middle was there, but because of the tip and the slowness, she was already on the way down when the ball came across.
There was Tillette there up front. And a service ace.
Steph Olson, I believe that was. No, Steph Anderson there with the service ace. Ball just started to sink right in front of the Andover defender.
Back to a 3-point set at 10-7 Centennial. They lost the first, 25-7. Much more effective here in this second. Andover trying to counter. Trout puts it down. And she had the first couple of points of this set, and she comes back with it to make it 11-7.
Nice swing there. Good dig by Siraki. Set up nicely by McCauley for the kill.
Anderson still on the service line. A little miscommunication for Andover. They pump it back over. Set for McCauley. Shot too deep.
There's the slide again. The 1-foot takeoff by Conrad. It's there. She's just got to get a little bit tighter to the net, or she's got to get on top and snap her wrist over and get some downward momentum on it.
Conrad, 6-foot junior. Misfiring on a couple, but still having a very good set as Hannah Peterson is now in to serve. 11-8 Centennial leads. Andover with a chance here to set up a shot. They do to the middle, try and pump it over, and it's a good save by Farmery to keep it alive. Another try for Andover. And again, picked up off the top of the net. Cougars have to get it over, and it's going to go too deep as Anderson a little too strong. So both sides doing a lot there to keep that alive.
Yeah, good play, good defense, like you mentioned, by Farmer. It's a little pancake there, but Centennial couldn't capitalize, keep it going.
Peterson again at the service line. No shot for Centennial. That should set it up for Andover right up front. Shot taken and dug out. McCauley on the far side, and now a net violation on Centennial.
Yeah, Farmer into the net. Probably could have gone either Farmer or Conrad on that one. Centennial's got to get it back here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks like Farmer
right shoulder.
Shoulder. The foot also went across.
And it's back to a 1-point set. Kill from Trout. She's going to get it as it popped up over the net. 12-10.
Yeah, good swing there. Caught a lot of the net, but she had enough power on it to get it through. Kind of running down the middle there. A play that she's used to fronting when she was playing middle last year.
12-10. Good pickup of that solid serve. It's popped back and Siraki can't handle. 12-11 now. Andover, they kind of withstood the onslaught. You kind of feel that. Centennial came with renewed life in this second set. Andover's now withstood that. Now they need to make a run to take their own lead.
Good point there, because Centennial started doing to Andover. They were doing to Centennial earlier.
Centennial gets it to Trout. Can't put the shot down. Popped up for Munson. Jensen back in, and she'll find her way in along the back line. 13-11.
Nice play by Centennial, finished up. Good pass by Siraki. Good set in front of her to Jensen, who put it down deep.
Farmery way back to serve. Deep shot for Andover. Farmery will get the set for Trout, has to pop it up. Andover trying a shot. Far side. Byro puts it down. 13-12.
Nice swing by Byro on that one.
Byro into the rotation because in that first set, Maria Noel went out with that ankle injury. She has not come back in yet.
Laura Peterson makes it her first appearance in the match.
Fight along the net, and that's going to be won by the Cougars as that one was poked up and under the net. 14-12.
Take a look at the replay here. See McCauley going over, just kind of tips it across. Off the block of Andover and couldn't keep it in.
Trout now serving. Set to the near side, blocked, back down and in for the Cougars. So up front with Jensen and I believe Olson.
McCauley on that one. Caught just the outside line there. That's what Coach Rabine Manthey was talking about earlier. Jensen does a great job getting over and closing the hole.
Jensen and McCauley on that far side. Can block this near side. This time Jensen and Olson, and they will get it this time.
Going to get it for contact. Ball never cleared the net on that one.
16-12. Centennial up 4. It's been about the extent of their lead here in this second. Block back, Andover, miscommunication as that was blocked back well, and they couldn't recover. 17-12, Centennial up 5.
Jensen making her presence known along the middle here. Take a look up there. Good strong block by Jensen and Olson.
And Trout, a smile but upset with herself. She puts it into the net. The service ace ends her string, and it'll be a 4-point advantage now as Andover take over with the serve for Olivia Graham. Graham has been quiet. She had a big first set. All depends on the rotation sometimes, of course, when you can get in there. McCauley takes the shot. It's blocked.
Nice play by Trout. Keep it alive.
And the shot from the far side. That time for Munson to make it 17-14. So you're on that far side and too deep in on Siraki, who's going to pick up the first touch here. Jensen with the push over. Andover able to reset it. Farmery set near side. Blocked back off the shot of Olson. And Centennial can't recover. Back to a 2-point affair. It's 17-15.
Just when Centennial had things moving their way, Andover counters. Closes back within 2.
Graham serving again. Siraki up way close to the net to pick that one up. Olson the shot. Blocked back. Saved by McCauley. Far side. Shot for Munson. Picked up by Centennial. Farmery will set. Olson the shot. Off the hands of a couple of Huskies, then poked back over. Centennial now with one shot, and McCauley will return the favor. Passing and along the net. It's blocked down. One by Olson and McCauley make it Jensen and McCauley on that far side.
Take a look at that's the second time in this rotation they've been able to get up there and stuff it back down.
Mostly McCauley on that far side with the leap, and at 18-15. Andover wants to take a timeout, and this one, Larry, I think as you take another look at the Centennial Cougars there, this set a little more like we thought this match would go overall.
Exactly. Both teams are maybe not playing high caliber, but they're contesting every shot. They're digging, they're trying to get a hand on everything. Not as many communication breakdowns as we saw in the first set. Yeah, like you said, I think this is more what we expected coming on air that we would see tonight. So an even battle, a tight-fought battle. I'd like to see Centennial probably use Jensen a little more in the middle, but if they can get the pass there. Olson is hitting some nice shots. Take a look at Jensen here. There's a good swing in the first set. Good block by her and McCauley.
That's been most of her impact in this second set, is blocking on that far side with McCauley.
So when you're talking with about a young player, the blocking is sometimes the hardest because it's a lot more timing, and she seems to have picked that up very well. She goes back now to serve now for Centennial, so Jill Conrad will come back in, the man the front row.
2 of each, 2 kills, 2 blocks, as you see there for the 8th grader Jensen. And anything that she struggles with this year, Larry, she's got some time to hone that craft, just the 8th grader. As she gets it over, and Andover won't get a shot. Jensen has to save it. Near side they go for Conrad, and she'll get the kill. 19-15.
Olson on that one.
Excuse me.
Take a look at the replay here. Still got the ball a little bit over her front shoulder. She wants to kind of square up on that so she can keep it in front of her. But good swing. Service error now by Jensen.
So now Andover back within 3. They've been as close as 1 a couple of different times down the stretch. McNallen serving. Farmery. Back set for McCauley, has it blocked down. It's Munson on that far side. 19-18.
Good pass up, good set. Equally good block by Andover.
19-17, excuse me. Couple of taps back and forth at the net, then up into the rafters. Centennial is going to get the tip. That's a strong shot.
I like that play by Olson there. She would have been easy for her just to tip the ball across. But she took a good swing at it and off the fingertips of Andover.
Caught Andover kind of in the middle on that shot, 20-17. This time off the block, another point for Munson. And you're seeing the senior play very well on both sides of the net.
Hearing her name called quite a bit tonight. Block is maybe just a little slow getting over to cover up.
She came in with 98 kills. You see 4 here today and a block. She had 10.5 of those into this game. They'd look for more out of her. She's one of the more traditional hitters. 5'11" senior. Far side shot for Centennial, down and in. And that time Liz Olson. 21-18.
I like that play. Let's take a look at it. They run Liz behind the center on that one and hits it right down the line. Nice play. And good play by Olson. She didn't try to do too much of it. Had a big opening. Just made sure she got it in.
21-18. Andover scrambling, and they won't get it over. 22-18, back to a 4-point lead for the Cougars.
This is one of those areas where Coach Ridpath said Centennial's had a tough time closing it out. Let's see if they can do it here.
And Coach Huberty wants to take a timeout, as this, like you mentioned, this is the point where you either close it out or the team comes back, sitting here at 22-18. What have you seen from Andover in these times, Larry? They've been here about 4 or 5 points down 3 different times in this match, but they've been able to cut it down. How have they been doing that against Centennial?
They do it because they keep the ball alive, whether it's getting an arm on it or being just a good, strong, solid dig. They're keeping the ball alive. They're not letting Centennial get their way with them. And whenever you can keep the ball alive on your side of the net, you still have a chance to win the point.
And at the point will either come back to you by a mistake, or you'll be able to find a shot to make the point. Remember, you can get anything and everything on the replays at North Metro TV, northmetrotv.com. Even order a DVD, number on the screen below. And you can get your very own copy of this or any other coverage of North Metro TV Sports. Steph Anderson back to serve. 22-18, Centennial with the lead. Trying to close it out. Passing a little off for Andover, and so they'll give up another point. 23-18.
Exactly. There's number 21 there, Haley Tillett, just kind of came in a little bit. So it was a little bit higher than she anticipated. Got there too early.
Anderson this time makes it 24-18. Set point to try and even it up here in the second. Trout slams it back down and wins the set for Centennial. 25-18.
Nice bounce back by Centennial. It started early. They grabbed the lead and just kept running with it. You can see now. You look at Centennial's body language. They're coming around. They're on their toes. Their shoulders are up. Take a look at the replay here. Good serve by Anderson, leads to an overpass. Trout not content to let's just get our 3 hits, takes it down.
And that's exactly how Trout started that set, with an aggressive swing, and she will end it with an aggressive swing. And her Cougars now have tied it up. A rough first set, and they bounce back well in set number 2. We'll see what number 3 has to hold. Tied at 1 between Andover and Centennial on North Metro TV.
Check it out. Oh, that is magnificent.
Here comes the big one, Elizabeth.
I love it so much. I'm feeling a little guilty on account of me being married. There are 8 wonders in the world.
I can't believe it.
Pinch me. I think I'm dreaming.
Okay.
No, it's real.
Ooh, yes.
My name is Fran Sorensen. I am an artist. I am an educator, and I have been educating students for 25 years. I am also a collector. I collect salt and pepper shakers. I collect postcards. I collect rocks. And I write on the bottom of all my rocks telling where they're from and who they're from. I love square dancing. I make my own TV shows free at North Metro TV, and I love it.
Get started by signing up for free TV production classes at 763-231-2803 or eric@northmetrotv.com.
Back with you in set number 3. You're about to start set number 3, a set apiece for each team, and it was Carly Trout's second set in that one, Larry.
Yeah, here's a swing from her first set, but yeah, she came out right here with just being aggressive, taking really strong swings, and that carried Centennial to the victory.
So now they try and carry that over here into number 3. Underway with the first rally. Set it to the middle instead, and a little too deep on the shot, as that was trying to set it up for Jill Conrad that time.
Yeah, Jill just didn't look comfortable there. Didn't get really a good approach on it, and tried rolling it across just a little bit too long.
First thing, I go back to Trout, and they do now, and she has it blocked right back. So Andover coming back, and they take the first 2 points. It's 2-0.
Take a look at the replay here. Good swing, solo block there by Graham.
Try again with Trout. This time takes a little off. Andover. Graham with the shot, and she'll bump it down off the set of McNallen on the far side.
Flashbacks to set number 1. Centennial's not handling the ball very well. For that campfire defense on that one. Everybody standing around watching the ball.
And there, shot a little too deep, so the service error, it'll be 3-1. I like that analogy. That's exactly what it looks like. Siraki now to serve. Set to the front end again for Graham. Siraki to dig. Farmery tries to get the shot with the right hand. Sends it deep, and Andover recovers. McCauley the set. Far side for Trout. Put it down off the block.
Well, you could see it in the eyes here of Carly Trout when that ball came over. She was determined. Got a very good swing on that one.
3-2. Andover leads. Siraki to serve. Error into the net. 4-2 Huskies.
Hate to see that. Get a little thing going, and then just give it right back. Laura Peterson now into serve for the Huskies.
Good serve to make it a tough first touch. Centennial, though, recovers. Back set for Graham. Off the block and down. So Graham starting to make a presence felt here in this third, as she did in the first. It's 5-2.
Run the little slide, a little slow. Set wasn't right there, but good adjustment by Graham.
Peterson again serving, second in a row. Jensen set her up. Shot dug out.
Nice
Back.
save by McNallen.
Not easy to do up against the ladder. Trout has her shot dug out. Near side they go for Munson. Up into the rafters. Centennial sticks with it, and they'll survive. Set Munson off the block. Point Andover, 6-2.
This is where Centennial's got to figure out if they learned anything in that first set and how they can rally themselves to get back in this.
Back set. Farmer has it blocked back. Miscommunication.
Double contact on Jensen there.
Jensen Farmer as well.
Common, you got two players kind of battling for it. Sometimes you just don't get the clean contacts.
Peterson serving. Trout. Shot too deep.
Just long on that one, but now we're 8-2 now, which is very similar to what Centennial found themselves down in the first set.
And a good shot by McCauley. We've seen her do that before a couple of times when we were here. First time we've seen her do it tonight with success, and finds an empty spot on the floor.
Sometimes you just get out, the other team, your opposition gets in a rhythm, boom, boom, boom. She disrupts that one.
They might have taken back every hard shot from Trout that time, but that one they weren't ready for. 8-3. And a block of the shot by Trout. McCauley takes the shot. It's tapped back, and Centennial trying to regroup, and it's put into the net by Anderson.
And maybe not the best decision by Anderson there. Instead of trying, if you're going to make that one, you want to make sure you get it across. Otherwise, just roll shot it with the forearm pass. Make sure you get the keep the ball alive.
Graham serving, a good one. Centennial had to scramble to get it back over. And double contact on the far side, so Centennial will survive that. It's 9-4. Olson back in, Trout to serve.
Got Olivia Jensen in the front row. I'd like to see if they go to her here.
Soft shot for Andover, far side instead they go for Olson. Andover with the shot over by McNallen. Jensen down in the back corner, 9-5, back to a 4-point set.
They can get the good passes. She's having a lot of successes, Jensen. You can see that here. Doesn't get real deep on her approach, but she's able to get to close on the ball very quick.
Service ace for Carly Trout. And just like that, they are right back in it. Serve a little bit deeper towards the back. Andover sends it over with a shot from the far side. Set goes a little deep to the net. Olson tried to poke it over, and she couldn't. 10-6.
Yeah, set was a little close. Their Farmery kind of pushed it a little bit too close to the net. Instead of putting it out there to allow Olson to get a good approach on it.
McNallen now serving. Farmery set it up for Olson, blocked back, and into the net.
Another double 4 contacts. That was there too. That was a much better play.
11-6 Andover. Jensen had the shot, and then it's blocked back in. Jensen up front with McCauley.
Another strong block by McCauley and Jensen here. Looking at him hip by hip. Go straight up. Put the ball back. Nice block.
11-7. Now Centennial down with Jensen serving. To the front. Graham has it blocked back. That time it's Conrad and Olson in the middle.
Conrad gets into play there. Strong block in the middle.
Jensen again. 3-point set. Munson. Shot popped up. McCauley pops it over, and the pancake doesn't work this time. McCauley. Twice now she's done that.
Find that big soft opening in the middle of the defense there.
11-9, Jensen, third straight. Munson too deep into the Centennial bench, and it's 11-10.
Just fun to watch it, momentum here. Early on, it was Andover straight up, energetic. Centennial slumped over, now it's completely reversed.
All with Jensen serving. She's got him back within 1 point. Near side for Graham.
4 contacts there.
And they've come all the way back to tie it at 11. Jensen will serve again. Andover looking for an answer. Jensen, the 8th grader, puts it over the net. Not the shot they wanted. Graham has to pop it over, flat-footed. Far side for Olson off a tip. Andover, this time they get tricky. Dug out by Farmery to keep it alive. Near side Munson, and that time it'll fall down off the block, and Andover ends the run, and they're up 12-11.
Good attack there by Munson. Again, Centennial got hands on it, but it was just deflected a little bit too far out.
Emily Blake in to serve. McCauley too strong, 13-11. And the tipping point now in that momentum. Maybe if Andover can seize it here, they might take it right back. Blake again. Centennial a little timid to take that second touch. There's a shot for Andover that's blocked back. McCauley up front there. Byro, excuse me, has it blocked back. Graham gets the shot. Both teams doing what it takes just to stay alive. And double contact, and that's going to send it over towards Centennial, 13-12.
You had mentioned earlier during that point, JW, about being a little tentative, was going to take the second contact. Centennial's running a 6-2 offense, which means there's 2 setters on the court. And sometimes that leads into that miscommunication. Which one's going to take it?
Service ace that time for McCauley. Tied at 13, and a chance for Centennial to take the lead. Gives it right back for Andover.
Good swing there. It's interesting here that Andover in the second set did not run or use a libero, and now they're back to using the libero with Hannah Peterson.
She was in there, serving now. Trout punches it over for Centennial. Graham tries to drop it up and over the net. Cannot. Touches it back down again. Centennial recovers. Back set. McCauley pops it up. Set for McNallen. Too deep into the net, so Byro just pops it over. Olson the shot. Partial block. Andover again. Trout keeps it alive. Both of these teams, it's a battle for every point. Near side, Byro has it blocked, and it's picked up by Conrad to stay alive. Set it again for Graham. This time Sarakian on the act. Far side, Olson. Taking it, won't get it. Olson finally gets the shot.
Exclamation point on that rally.
Tied at 14. She got a good run up, slammed it down. Good attempt at a dig there.
That's where your conditioning comes into play, a long rally like that.
Dig this time for Emily Blake, sets up the shot that goes too long. And there's Centennial picking up the lead at 15-14.
First lead of the set for Centennial.
And go to Steph Anderson to serve. McNallen the set, Graham the shot, and Centennial sends it right back. Graham this time, poke it down just in front of the dime of McCauley.
One thing Centennial's done pretty well on this set. Oh, we got a bloody nose there by Katie Farmery. Centennial's done pretty well in this set is when they go up the block, they don't put the ball across, they're able to keep the ball alive. The middles or the blockers had the presence of mind to bump it back up and keep it moving.
Farmery's going to sit down with that bloody nose. Allie Bilodeau.
She's a right side hitter according to the program, so I would imagine that Lindsay McCauley will now be the setter full time in what they call a 5-1 offense.
And some blood down on the floor. Got to wipe that up first before we get things going. Tied at 15 here in the third set between Andover and Centennial. Both teams took a first set, rather convincing for Andover at 25-7 in the first, 25-18 for Centennial, in a set that was a couple of times at a 1-point margin. And now we're tied right here. That'll be a service ace, that time for Jessica Hanko. We highlighted her at the beginning of this match as one of the senior leaders who could have an impact on this game, and there she does it here in the third. Serving at 16-15 with the lead. Set for Trout was short, and she had to bump it over. Hanko with the set. Again, return to the favor. McNallen bumps it. This time Trout will get a shot. And it's picked up by Blake. Trout has to dig, and they can't find a second. So a 2-point advantage now for Andover. Centennial's going to take the timeout and talk about it.
It was interesting there. Allie Bilodeau goes in, and how the ball can find you so fast. A good serve by Andover, and tough pass and right to Bilodeau, and that's come cold off the bench like that, especially not even knowing you're going to be going in, and all of a sudden the ball finds you.
Farmery standing up there in the huddle behind Coach Rayvine Manthe.
Surprised some of that doesn't happen more often. You got a lot of balls or people flying around out there, and elbows and knees and feet and
ricochets that you're not sure where it's going to go.
Take a look at Lindsay McCauley here, doing the job as a setter and as an attacker tonight. We've seen her do that several times, both tonight and in our previous telecast. Just finds that opening, has a knack of when to pull that one off.
The senior can be very crafty. We talked to her about it last time, as Farmery still won't be out there. And so they'll go with that rotation.
They're going to have to get that bleeding totally stopped before she can go back out.
So it will be Bilodeau. 17-15 Andover, trying to take the advantage in the match, but a long way from it here. First touch just finds its way over the net. Now McCauley sets. Far side for Trout. And she'll get the kill. Make it 17-16. Centennial back within one.
Need to get Trout more involved. She's been kind of absent here in this match, or this set so far.
Serve for Siraki. Far side shot too deep for Byron.
By Centennial, I like this lineup right now. You've got Jensen and Trout in the front row.
Dig by Blake. Set it up for McNallen. She just pops it over.
And there's where you miss the having that 6'2". Allie Bilodeau has a right side. If the center has to take it, generally the right side will take the second contact, and just wasn't ready for it.
So 18-17 after we were tied again. Jensen tries to shove it right down, but it's dug out. Shot deep to the back corner for Mickelson.
She wound up on that one. Like she brought her elbow up from her hand down around the floor to pick up on top of that one.
On top she did, as she kept it well in on that far corner. 19-17, and again, double contact. That time it was McCauley.
And Siraki, probably not the best choice right there. Not a very good pass up to the center.
So a timeout for Centennial again, 2017, and getting dicey here in the third with Andover and both of these teams. You talked about momentum already earlier in the set, Larry, and right now it's kind of shifting with just about every point, just about every serve. Nobody's making much of a run until Andover now up by 3.
Yeah, Andover started off strong, had a nice lead early, but Centennial battled back, and like you said, now it's back and forth, back and forth. The team might run out to 2-3 point lead, and the other team will rally back. So Looks like Farmery, their center back in the huddle. We'll see if she goes out now when they go back out on the court. Got the cotton in her nose there.
She went out with that bloody nose, as you get a look at her there. She went out with that. And that forced Bilodeau to come in, pressed into service, and 3 points for Andover.
Oh.
Not all because of that, but anytime your rotation can change.
I think she's got blood on the jersey. They may not let her back in.
Centennial playing without. Farmery the starter. Trout has the shot. Andover recovers. Near side they go. Munson. And she's gotten to that well 3 times now, and each time coming with a point. It's 20-18.
Farmery's going to make a return now. Go back to serve.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Bilodeau will sit down.
Comes in with an ace.
Welcome back to the match, 2019. It's a 1-point affair.
Should be well rested. She's had enough points out, so just kidding.
Pretty big smile on her face. Shot on the far side is blocked. Centennial will recover. There's Farmer right in the middle of it. Sets it up for Trout, who pops it over, but down into the net. 21-19.
There you saw the advantage of having that second setter on the court.
Right.
Farmer is able to take that second contact.
21-19. Here she'll have it. Back set. No doubt about it. Put it down right in the middle of the court. Slammed it home. 21-20.
That was a hammer there. Let's take a look at the replay again. Kind of ran Jensen and Trout at the same time. Blocker's got to choose one.
Now Trout to serve. Tight here in the 20s. Trout able to dig it and pop it right back over. Andover miscommunication, but they survive. Trout keeps it alive. Farmery the set. Far side they go for Olson.
Set a little too far off the net there for Olson.
Barnett right in the middle of it there, along with Munson up top. 22-20. McNallen to serve. She hopes to keep it and finish this one off. Far side they go. Olson again. Times and slams it home with space. 22-21.
Take a look at that one. Better set, closer to the net. And Olson made no doubt about it. Over the block, through the defenders, down for a point.
Jensen to serve. Shot popped over by Graham. Play along the net. Soft shot taken by Centennial. Peterson puts it over for Andover. Olson again. Andover scrambles and they stay alive. Trout first touch. Set for Olson. Good dig far side. Up front, popped up and over. And a good play up front by Callie Barnett.
You mentioned that some big hammers going on there, but Barnett just took a little touch shot, finds the corner.
23-21. Andover serving with Emily Blake. And Centennial, most of that forced by a good serve out to the back.
Exactly. Good deep serve, got them on their heels. Then two players kind of running into each other and not being able to get the ball across.
Skachenski's going to come in for Trout here on set point. 24-21, tied at 1 here in the third. Blake serving. First touch goes just a bit awry, so Centennial won't get a shot. They do get it over. Block back, set up. Byro too deep, but Centennial will stay alive at 24-22.
Nice play by Siraki here. She had her hands up last second, pulled them down. Wise choice.
Just a bit deep. Now McCauley serving. Blake first touch. Near side they go. Block back. Andover keeps it alive. Slam with the overpass. And with that, back to a 1-point set. A timeout for Andover.
Well, we talked about it. Here we take a look at the replay here. Good block by Centennial there. Ball gets popped back up, and Conrad just hammered the ball down. But we talked, it gets over it. Maybe people think we talk about it too much, but momentum, things were cruising along for Andover there towards the end. I mean, up 24-21, things seem to be going their way. And all of a sudden, Centennial's now crawled back into with 1 point to tying it up.
Tying it up, and obviously the crucial third set. As someone will be right in the driver's seat after this one. Andover took the first convincingly, 25-7. You see Coach Rayvon Manthe. Her final words here as they're right up against the wall. No room for error, obviously, right here. And Coach Huberty. And we take a look at Olson, who had that shot a couple of moments ago. They got him back in this set.
She's really hit the ball hard lately and much more aggressive. And like this, what I see in both her and Trout's eyes when they start to attack the ball.
So McCauley will now serve for Centennial. 24-23 Andover with the set point. Olson,
double contact.
Double contact, and that is how it will come to a close here in the third. 25-23. Andover takes their second. And it had been such a big build-up to that, Larry. You almost got the sinking feeling that might happen on a Centennial mistake. But they'll have to come back here in the fourth and try and rectify it.
Yeah, a little anticlimactic finish, but it is a good call. Take a look at it here. Goes up there, and Farmery just couldn't handle it cleanly. Centennial had it with the way they wanted it. But we're going to go to set 4. That's going to be uncharted territory for you and I, JW.
Uncharted.
We've not had a 4-set match yet this season.
We knew we were headed that way at the very least, and Andover trying to end it there in the fourth. We'll see if they can when we come back on North Metro TV.
Known for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy!
For your full-service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy!
If you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy! I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say, I know a guy!
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.
Back at Centennial High School, the Cougars backs against the wall here on North Metro TV. The Andover Huskies have a 2-1 advantage here at the home of the Cougars, as it is their Go Pink game here. October.
October being Breast Awareness Month, and you'll see a lot of high school, college programs will do a Dig Pink or some type of event like that, raise money for breast cancer awareness. Also, if you watch NFL, that's the reason you'll see them in pink shoes, etc. So, great cause, and it's good to see the community get behind that. So, but outside of that first set aberration, that's been a pretty good match. Centennial came back to win set number 2, 25-18, a 2-point match set in the third. So now it's at set number 4. Centennial obviously has to take this one to extend it to 5 and have a chance of winning. But that was a fun set to watch in that last one.
Both of these teams up and down throughout the sets, up and down throughout the match. 2 wins for Andover, 1 for Centennial. And it's kind of been that kind of season. Andover trying to win their 5th game in conference here, and that'll set them up pretty well to end up in the upper echelon there. Centennial starts with the serve from Siraki. Underway here in the fourth. 2-1 Andover. Second touch too deep into the net. It'll be 1-0 Centennial to start.
A good point you mentioned earlier, JW. Right now, you're just trying to get a top 4 seed for a section so you can have your first match at home.
Andover trying to play their way to that. Off the block. Trout picks it up for Centennial to keep it alive. Now she gets the shot. It's blocked back. Miscommunication, but she dives in at the last moment. And it's saved somehow on that far side by McCauley. Again, Siraki hits the floor to keep it alive. Shot for Graham, and finally it finds its way to the deck. As that was 3 times that Centennial kept that alive, and you thought that point was over.
Yeah, nice play of McCauley. She's got great court awareness. Yeah, I believe it's 1-1 now. They've got...
Unless they gave that to Centennial.
No, here we go. They're
okay,
correcting it now.
It is 1-1. So 1-1. Andover serving. Far side they go. Byro trying to get the drop shot in. Instead, Graham slams it home. Siraki tried on the save off the Anderson touch. Couldn't get it. It's 2-1 Andover.
Centennial's getting a little out of system here on defense. They're trying to scramble instead of just playing good base defense.
Aiko serving. An early touch by Byro. I think she just tried to poke it right back over, and it never got over.
Byro tried playing the overpass. The ball wasn't above the net when she did it and didn't quite clear the net. Then she played it again.
So tied at 2. Farmer is serving in the service ace. Poor Katie Farmery had her troubles, as you see that piece of cotton still there in her nose. Had trouble with a nosebleed there in the first and had to come out. She's played a very good match. 6 assists, 3 aces for the junior. Set to the far side. Looking for McNallen.
Block, push it back over to McNallen, and she just tried to flip her it up and just pushed it out of bounds.
Those two again right there. McCauley and Olivia Jensen. They've been playing very well up the front at times today, and there's a service ace for Farmery, out to a 5-2 lead for the Centennial Cougars.
Take a look at the serve here, and just another diving ball as it crosses the net.
Andover looking for something to get going and have it blocked back. Get another try. Far side for McNallen, blocked again. Jensen and McCauley up front. Now McCauley with the set. Jensen with the shot. Dug out deep. Far side popped up and over that block. Anderson kept it alive, but too many hits as Siraki couldn't get it over. And it's 5-3.
But Centennial's moving after the ball, something they weren't doing in the first set, but they've got a little bit more energy here. Right now, this is the rotation that's probably the best one for Centennial, I would think, with Jensen, McCauley, and Trout in the front row.
You can't dig it out. The service ace coming that time for Laura Peterson, the senior. That's a way to keep it away from the best rotation.
Yeah.
That 5-4 just put the ace down. This time it is picked up. Centennial will set it up. McCauley takes the shot. McCauley finds it in. 6-4.
Nice volleyball player is McCauley. She can, good setter. She can attack efficiently from either left or right side.
Trout to serve, just finds its way over the net. Hand over to scramble, and just a bit deep as Munson tried to have the shot drop in over everybody.
Didn't miss that one by much.
Not much. 7-4. Trout serving again. Munson slaps it over. Farmery, back set to McCauley, and it's blocked back down. Graham and Munson over there.
Call that a trap set because McCauley had nothing really she could do for it. She couldn't make any kind of adjustment to try to angle the shot. All she could do is hit it right into the block.
7-5 Andover. Down 2 Centennial, up in the set. Shot for Olson. Recovered by Andover. Farmery the set, Jensen the shot. Andover a chance to pop it over, and they do. Centennial back again. Farmery, everything going through her. McCauley, shot down. And Andover will pump it over. They haven't gotten a shot the last 3 times they've had it. It's been all Centennial. Here Olson again. And a recovery. This time maybe a shot. Far side, Munson. Put it down with the ball.
I don't know what you can call it, but that's the Macaulay Jensen block right there. It's got to be 4 or 5 times they've done that tonight.
8-5 now Centennial. It's been a strength in this match throughout. Those two together, I think that just goes to your point that that's one of their strongest rotations. Shot from Munson. Centennial right there. Macaulay at the front. Off the block. Finds its way down 9-5.
She got a kill on the left side. Now she gets a kill on the right side there, going through 2 blocks right off the hands.
(9-5) Centennial up 4. Macaulay the deep set. Olson shot down and in. 10-5 Centennial.
Nice play there. It started with the serve though of Olivia Jensen. She's got a hard flat line drive serve. Gets on top of the passer very quickly.
Back set. No trouble for Centennial. They'll set up the shot for Jensen again. Make that Olson, excuse me.
It's Conrad and Macaulay. You touch on right now, Centennial's taking much harder, much more aggressive swings than Andover's been able to do. And a lot of that's because Andover's been at times just been having to be content with just free balling the ball back over to Centennial.
Andover will take a timeout, talk about how they can maybe get a couple of better shots, and it's Centennial putting all of the pressure on them, I think, making that first touch a little difficult, and that completely throws everything off, no matter the passing.
And then when Andover does get an attack, Centennial's playing much better defense. They're in their base positions. They're not scrambling, so it makes that pass a lot easier to make when you're set in position, got your platform out, make a good pass.
And that last time showed us it's not just Jensen and Macaulay like you talked about. Jill Conrad was in there up front as well, with Macaulay playing tough on that front. Olson up there as well. And so they're blocking very well, are the Centennial Cougars here in this 4th set. 2-1 they trail. 11-5 they lead though here in the 4th. Andover taking a little longer to make those adjustments, and they come out with the buzzer.
Just need a little better passing for Andover so they can run an offense. Right now, even when they had been able to set up an attack, it's been predictable to the left side because it's the only option they've had.
Jensen serving. Andover will get a shot. Popped over, and there an opportunistic look from Munson. Maybe stop the bleeding, at least get the serve back for now. 11-6.
Husky substitution number 9, Amanda Hako into the lineup.
Hako comes in. McNallen serving. Farmery again, a set in the middle, is dug out. The shot for Conrad. Now Munson. Siraki right there on the spot. Pushed over by Macaulay. Munson into the block, but kept alive. Conrad, a good job to keep it up for Centennial. Set again to this near side, down the line and just out. Swing for Hako, and she couldn't find it in.
One thing that Centennial's, the advantage that they've had, they've been able to use hitters all along the front row, where Andover, for the most part, has just been relying on their outside.
12-6, back to a 6-point set. Outside again, they go with Hako. Olson, shot dug out. Munson, too deep. 13-6, Centennial up.
But I think outside of the one attack by Amanda Hako, which went wide, every attack's come from the left side so far for Andover in this set. Change it up here.
13-6, try and pop it up over in the middle. And Farmery goes on the attack, he gets it off the block. 14-6, Centennial by 8.
Take a look at the replay. The right side, and Farmery just tips it, hits it off the hands for a point.
And there, So another good point. That's been all Andover has really had at this point. That's Hannah Wolf, who just rips it over 14-7. And now Andover has the serve and see if they can make some noise with it. Down 14-7. Blake back to serve. Farmery shot into the net. And back-to-back points for Andover. And they're down 6 again.
For Centennial now, you had a good run. You need to keep it going. They had scored 7 out of 8 points. They need to get the ball, stop this Andover attack.
Back for Conrad. She stops it 15-8.
And that was an attack that wasn't going down in the second set. They were going wide. Now she's got the slide, comes around, gets a little more on top of it, off the hands.
Blocking not set up for Andover completely there, at least not both. And that allowed that to slip past the hand, 15-8. Blake with the dig for Andover. Popped over by McNallen. Centennial saves, shot for Trout. Didn't get everything on it. Far side, Andover goes, trying to be tricky again. McCauley set for Conrad. Blocked back, Conrad keeps it alive. Farmery pushes over. Near side. Hayco, and off the block. It'll be point Andover.
Nice swing by Hayco there. He's for the outside hand. And just deflects it out of bounds.
So they've reeled it back to within 6, have the Andover Huskies. Peterson back to serve. Siraki not the cleanest, but they keep it alive. Conrad pops it over to the front. Blake had it blocked back, and they couldn't contain it. 16-9.
Nice block, but when Andover tried to bring it back, just got called for a carry. Got it pulled over their hand, or a little bit far out. Take a look at the replay here. There's the block. Byro with the good attempt, but just couldn't save it cleanly.
Siraki the serve for Centennial. Andover keeps it alive, and Hayco finds another point in this set. She's come alive here in the fourth.
Nice.
Really kind of kept Andover in it.
Yes, he's had a couple of good swings there. Good attack on that. Take a look at it on the right side. That block time, the block was a little slow.
16-10, point Andover.
Got a double contact on McCauley there, and a pass tight to the net.
So back to within 5. Jessica Hayco, one of the 2 Haycos on the team, serving. Blake with the dig up to the front. Hayco the set, shot down, dug out. McCauley keeps it alive, and it's popped over by Olson. Jensen, excuse me. That time the shot will go too deep off the arm of Byro.
That's what a block will do for you, though. She knew she had to get it high and maybe try to hit the top of the hands, but just long.
Farmery serving. Andover trying to find the shot. It's popped over. Byro had it there. McCauley tries to return the favor, and Andover recovers. Same for Centennial. Byro looking for the shot. Has it blocked.
Who's on the block? McCauley and Jensen again.
Guess who over there on that far side? 18-11. And now the timeout.
What I liked about that point, we talked about it earlier. Ball came across over to Anderson. Earlier in the match, she tried to kind of do a down ball, an overhead attack. This time she brought her hand up, thought better of it. 2-hand push across, and kept the ball alive.
Keeping the ball alive was the key of a lot of those rallies back and forth for both of these teams. And you see the great block. And it has been a lot of those great blocks on that far side, and it's been a whole lot of McCauley there, but also she's had some help and also some offensive help from Jill Conrad, who especially in this set and throughout the day has made an impact in this game, as you see her working in the middle.
Now she's got some offense going in this set, but she's also had some really nice blocks. And she had some some of the nice plays I've liked about her. She's blocked, the ball comes back on her side. She's been able to bump the ball back up to keep it going. Too many times you'll see a blocker go up, they block, they lose sight of the ball, and it just drops at their feet. So it's one of those little things that goes unnoticed, but can definitely win a match for you.
Katie Farmery sans tissue in her nose. She's got that problem all figured out. 7 assists and a kill today, and she's going to serve at 18-11. Here in the fourth, trying to get Centennial back to a tie and send us to a fifth. And the service ace will get one step closer.
She's had a very strong serving game since she's come back from the nose incident. Take a look at this here. Got Hannah Peterson moving back. Hard to pass when you're having another service ace.
Back to back for Farmery, 20-11. Centennial trying to cruise into a fifth set. And of course the fifth, more uncharted territory for us, but we know winner takes all in that one. Far side, Andover trying to get something going here late in the fourth. They're up 2-1. Trout, she'll get the kill. Not her hardest swing, but she put it in the good spot.
She kept the ball alive. That's a big thing. You got to keep it in the court. Keep it in the court, make the other team make errors. You talked about that a little bit earlier.
21-11, Farmery on a roll. Couple of aces. 3 points overall, but that time it's popped back down by Graham, excuse me. And it's 21-12.
Nice play by Graham here. Haven't heard her name lately, but they have a nice attack there. With Jensen and McCauley over there, you got to kind of really think twice about going to the outside.
21-12. 9-point set. Andover serving. Farmer. Excuse me.
That was Trout again, right down the middle. Really like that play. Because she really attacks the ball coming from that spot.
So Trout with point number 22 here of the set. She'll go back to serve. 10-point advantage for Centennial. 11-point advantage for Centennial. And they're 2 points away from sending us to a fifth. Trout again. Back set for Andover, and Trout with the dig. McCauley pops it over. Double contact, and it'll be 23-13.
Talked to an official once before, and he said he'll let them once in a while get away with kind of a sloppy set, but if you're going to put it on the other side of the net, make the other team play it, no.
And the service ace off the double contact is Graham trying to serve Andover back into it, 23-14. Near side, there's Olson. Block back down, Jensen McCauley, wouldn't you know it. McCauley pops it over and finds the deck, 24-14, set point.
Doesn't look very pretty there, but I don't know what you can call. It's not a double, didn't stay on it. She didn't stop and over control it. So good play by McCauley, just to tip it across, set point.
Might as well just call it a McCauley at this point, as Jensen's going to go back and serve. Back set. And off the hands of McCauley, so Andover will stay alive at 24-15.
Substitution number 9.
Hako's going to come back in. It's Amanda Hako, the sophomore.
Got Marissa McNallen in the back row now serving, so you lose that offense coming off the left side.
Trout starts it. Farmery with the set. And slam back down by Conrad for the winner, and sending us to a fifth set, 25-15. Just back and forth we go, Larry.
It's been a fun set outside of that first set, not because Centennial lost, but the way the set just went.
Right.
It's been a fun match to watch. Back and forth, momentum going each way. Good play on both sides, keeping the ball alive. Let's see, take a look at the final point here of this set. One-on-one blocking, Graham against Conrad, and Conrad wins that match, that setup.
So the Cougars, they've got one set here at home to win it and knock off the Andover Huskies. We'll see how it goes here on North Metro TV. Coming up next with set number 5.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy!
For your full service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy!
If you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy! I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say, I know a guy!
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.
With gold at all-time high, take that rope and say bye-bye. Earrings, bracelets, rings, and chains. We buy gold at your exchange. Don't send your gold to someone strange. We buy gold at your exchange. Spring Lake Park, Frilly Blade. We buy gold at your exchange.
Join Ben Hale every Friday on North Metro TV News.
Back with you for set number 5. You see why right there. The 2 sets for Centennial, including number 2 and number 4, and then the 1 set in the first for Andover, and they took a 25-23 in our closest set in the third. And so Larry will go to 15 here in set number 5, and why not? I mean, once you mentioned it as we went to break, after that first set out of the way that was a little bit ugly, it's been a very good set back and forth the next 3.
It's been a very entertaining match. Each team has had their streaks of where they've looked very good, and they've had their streaks where they haven't looked as good. But it's going to be it's the 5th set. People have called it a sprint. You're only going to 15 points. Got to still win by 2. So there's that possibility. But momentum really makes a big play in this one, because you can't afford to get yourself down too early.
And especially between these 2 teams, when you get to that 15-point mark, that's when one team was starting to pull away. Each set is really, except for the first, been very close in those middle points. And that's where we're headed here in number 5. Andover to reset it, 8-11 overall, 4-2 in conference, trying to keep those winning ways alive. And Larry has mentioned a couple of times the sectional standings, and of course everything going into that. And the Cougars trying to get back towards 500 in Northwest Suburban play. They're at 2-4. Andover will start with the serve. It'll be Jessica Hayco. First to 15 will take this long match. They thought they had it won. And I think an inadvertent whistle or what? I don't think anybody's getting a point. We're resetting.
Oh, we're going to reset. He hit the curtain. I thought that was out. But
so we do it again. Scoreless. Trout pops it over. Set to the back. It is down off the block of McNally.
Take a look at the replay here. McNally down the right side, like you mentioned, off the block. 1-0 Andover.
So it went from 1-0 Centennial to 1-0 Andover. McCauley trying to make a play near the net, and she just popped it on her own side and makes it 2-0 Andover.
An unfortunate break for Centennial there, because they had that point. If it hadn't been for the net, there's no way that ball would have stayed in play.
And there's the service error to get it back to Centennial.
Des Saraki at the service line. She's had a very quiet night from back there. It'd be a good time for her to go off.
2-1 Andover early in the 5th. And the point has already been given to Centennial.
That close play there. Not a lot of arguing on the Andover side. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, it looked like it went off her fist into the ground. It's a good call by the officials.
Officials making a couple of calls here in this 5th, and they're off a hand of a Cougar. It'll be 3-2 Andover.
Another kill by Graham. She's having a very strong match. Laura Peterson goes back to serve for Andover, and she's given Centennial some fits with their serve.
Senior puts it over. McCauley will have the set to Olson. And off the fingertips. And it'll be tied at 3.
Can handle that serve and make a good pass. You get shots like this.
Farmery to serve. Back set. Slam it down past Farmery. That was Hayco. Was it Hayco?
I believe that was McCauley or McNallen. Yep, McNallen on the attack. She's the one they want to go to. She's their go-to hitter.
Especially now with Graham back serving. 4-3. Farmery sets for Trout. He slams it home.
There's that play. They bring Trout inside. Quick attack. You see that the set's not that high. Gives the defense a hard time or not much time to set up.
Tied at 4. Trout to serve. Andover will get the shot. It's McNallen again, right back off Farmery.
Take a look at the replay here. Good dig, good set. And McNallen hammered it down. Should go back to the serve for the Huskies.
Amanda Hayco comes back in. 5-4, back and forth we go. Jensen, her first try here in the 5th. Blocked back with the other side of the antenna, and it'll be 5-5.
Jensen to serve.
Jensen goes back to serve for Centennial. She too is giving Andover difficulties, so we'll see what happens here in her service. And it goes long.
Too strong right along the back line, an aggressive serve, but 6-5. Now Andover. You might have hit it on the head, Larry. You got to win by 2, and the way it's going here, this is back and forth.
Neither team has been able to pull away a mistake here and there by each team, but also some good aggressive play.
Blake the serve, brought back by Farmery.
They're going to call an illegal back row block on that one. Farmery's back row, so she cannot touch a ball above the net. It's attacked by the other player.
And you see
the opposition
do that right there. And so there's a 2-point lead for the first time for Andover.
And Coach Rabine Manthe wants an explanation or try to talk about it, where Colley's saying that she was below the net when she made contact, which would make it a legal play. You're not going to win that, but you can make your point.
Never hurts to ask.
Nah, never hurts to ask.
And McCauley reporting back.
But now it's a 2-point lead for Andover.
Blake serving again at 7-5. Cougars just have to pop it over with Trout. Set to the front, McCallan. Shot picked up. Front of the net, Olson stuffed it down. Andover does recover, same for Centennial. Neither team with a shot, back and forth we win. Popped over by McNallen. And they can't get it back, can the Cougars? It'll be 8-5 in Andover, excuse me.
Take a look at the replay here. And just the push, McCauley tried, but just couldn't control it. Centennial's going to call a timeout, trailing by 3. As we mentioned, it's a short set, so you got to really try to stop the momentum now and get back.
Race to 15, 8-5 now. Centennial a couple of times has gone to a 5-set match. They did so against Coon Rapids. Took that one 3-2. That was 2 matches ago. Also did so back-to-back matches on the 4th and 6th. 2 losses, Elk River and Mounds View. Not a lot of 5-set action for Andover. In fact, this is the first time that they have gone 5 all season. So 4 had been their length. And so you talked about conditioning early with both of these teams within a set running back and forth. Now you tack on a 5th one to that. That's going to see who can hang on the longest.
And this is where, if you're Centennial, you have to believe that you can win. And that's something saying, well, yeah, of course we can believe we can win, but easier said than done, especially when you start falling behind by a couple of points.
They do have the recent memory, the victory in 5 over Coon Rapids. A loss followed, but here they've got the chance, and too strong for Blake. So she gives a point back on the service error. It's 8-6.
Good timeout by Rabine Manthe there. Get the service error.
Now McCauley. Waco tried to pop it over. Now she takes a big swing and gets it off the fist of McCauley. Keiko, excuse me, it's 9-6.
That was a nice play again by Conrad to keep the ball alive, but she just put it on the wrong side of the net. And Heiko was there to make no doubt about that one.
So back to a 3-point set. Peterson serving. Popped over by Farmery. Peterson digs. Set to the front for Graham. Dug out. Siraki. Shot. Siraki again right there on the return. Andover setting up the shot. Near side. Heiko got it over. Kept alive by Olson.
Looks like it hit the antenna. Let's take a look here at the replay. Yep, off the block, and you rolled over and hit the antenna. Good call by the line judge.
Right into that corner of the antenna and the net. So Peterson serving it 10-6. Out to the 4-point advantage for Andover.
Emma LeClaire in now for Centennial.
Set to the front. Conrad slams it home off Blake. It'll be 10-7.
That's an aggressive swing. Take a look at it here. Replay.
You talked before about your amazed bloody noses don't happen more often. That one almost came up and got Blake.
Got her shoulder in the way just in the nick of time.
Anderson will be back to serve.
Got to get at least 1 point on their serve here for your Centennial.
Down 10-7. Graham. Centennial survives. Near side, Heiko puts it down, redirected by the block. It'll be 11-7.
Another nice swing by Heiko. If you're Centennial now, obviously you cannot just trade points. You've got to get the ball back here and start making runs of your own.
Now it's Jessica Heiko serving at 11-7. Andover decided to pull it back, set it up. Conrad.
Nice dig.
Blake on the far side with the dig. McCauley will set up for Trout. Slam it home, dug by Peterson. Far side, Byro. Centennial.
Just had probably too much time there to think about it instead of just staying aggressive on it.
11-8. Now Siraki serving, a good low serve, but picked up by Peterson. Far side, shot dug out by Siraki. A spin move out of it. The set for Trout, she pops it down. Back to a 2-point set.
Mentioned a good serve by Siraki. Good position, good placement out of it. Good dig there to come back. Staying flat-footed here, not doing her normal jump serve.
Siraki served again, popped back over by Andover. 11-9 here in the 5th. Jensen had a touch. Far side they go. Slam down, save, but off the antenna too late. Farmery couldn't get it. It was McNallen who will get the kill.
So the ball hit the standard on the way out.
So 12-9.
But Centennial can get the serve back here, get another one. They're right back in it. Timeout by Jackie Rabine-Manthe. It's easy in a set like this. You know, it's the last set. You start getting tentative. You just, instead of attacking the ball, you just kind of tip the ball. And I think history would show that the team that's more aggressive with their attacks are going to come out on top. So it'll be interesting to see which team can turn it around, be a little bit more aggressive in their nature.
We talked about what's ahead for both of these teams as they try and get a pretty key win late in the season. Ahead is the St. Michael Albertville tournament for the Cougars, one of 2 tournaments they'll play in out the end of the season. And then coming up next, it'll actually be a match at Anoka, which, Larry, you talked about for Andover. It's going to be a big one when it comes to rankings in the state, as both of these teams try and find their way in the section rankings more so than even in the top 10. But Andover, you see them still right there at number 9.
Actually, that was a misprint. I saw those. It's Minnetonka that's rated number 9. Yeah, Anoka's, it's going to be a good barometer for both teams when they play Anoka. Here we go, Peterson.
Peterson serving at 12-9. Shot poked down by Trout. Not a hard swing, but a well placed. And we've said that a couple of times for Trout. It's 12-10. Farmery back to serve. She's had a good time at that line of late here in this match. 12-10, Centennial trying to come all the way back. Poke back down. Graham stuck it home. It's 13-10.
It's unfortunate there for Centennial because they have the line to the rotation they want. Jensen, McCauley, and Trout. But they've got to get the ball back now, but then Trout will go to back row. But you got to win this point if you're Centennial.
Trout comes up to win it and does. 13-11.
Running that play down the middle. Just a quick set to Trout.
Olson back in to play the front, along with Jensen and McCauley. Trout the serve. Andover love to get a shot here. They do, but it's dug out by Farmery. Wrong set, McCauley. Too deep on the shot. Match point, 14-11 here in the fifth.
Centennial's up against it now. There's no room for error if you're Centennial.
Marissa McNallen back to serve. Siraki, second touch, miscommunication, and McNallen can't get it over. McCauley, excuse me, and no room for error, and they made that error there with the miscommunication to lose this set and the match.
It's unfortunate for Centennial, both in the third set and the fifth set. The two of the sets they lost, they kind of gave it away without first with the double contact, then a poor pass. But for Centennial, you got to say, okay, we bounced back. We were down. We didn't play very well in the first. We did come back to make a match out of it, and it's build upon that.
Build upon that as they did in the match to make it a good match, as you mentioned. Andover, they'll now move to 9-11 overall, 5-2 in conference play. Centennial and the Cougars, they fall to 6-9, 2-5 overall. As you take a look at one of the standouts there for the Huskies, Alexandra Monson, and throughout the match, Larry, she came up with big shots at big times.
I don't think she had a lot of kills, but she had some key kills at the key times in the match. So, yeah, strong match. It was a fun match to watch. It was a fun match to be a part of. Both teams are still, like I said, trying to get their momentum going as they head into sections.
Centennial just comes up short in 5, and Olivia Graham a big part of that as well. Munson with those timely kills, but Graham throughout the match I think was their go-to play.
Yeah, she was. First set she had her way with a lot, and then she just kept it going from there. Outside of McNallen, probably one of their bigger attackers throughout the match.
So the winning set in the fifth, 15-11, as you see there. Centennial falls after fighting well to take the second, and then the fourth to force it, but 3-2. Andover gets the victory. For everyone with North Metro TV, along with my partner Larry Mickelson, I'm J.W. Cox. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. You've been watching High School Girls Volleyball on North Metro TV.